Oh, hello there.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You're in violation of secure communication procedures, Commodore.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
Oh.
There is no America. There is no democracy.
Our fifth objective, a new world order.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West.
Right-wing conspiracy.
Yeah.
What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin?
A new world order.
Thank you for plugging in to the Stones Unturned podcast.
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
Oh.
I'm your host, Professor Thomas Henry Horan.
He reads everything.
Hello there, you lucky devils. It's alligator season. It's women hole season. Stay away from the alligators. This is a public service announcement from the Stones Unturned podcast. Hi, Lard. Hi, John Toad. Hi, Alpine. Well, where were we? That's right, the phony kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie. Has anybody looked in the guest house? Well, there's somebody else is starting to say, here it is, okay. Canadian intern at NATO arrested on espionage charges in Belgium. What a shock. Savannah Guthrie shares part of the ransom note amid search for Nancy Guthrie. We need a transcript for this. Is this a YouTube video? It is a YouTube video. Let's do this. Logged into the wrong account. Let's do this. The app is being let me test live streaming. Here's the deal about the app. I don't know why anybody would pay for more than 1 month. But unless there was live streaming every month, and that's going to I have to charge you $20 a month. So we'll see. Let me continue testing it. Cold night for gators. Where was I? Here we go. Upload video. No, not upload video. Import a YouTube video. Okay, there's a lot of videos. Let me try this. Little things need to be tweaked here. There it is. We have a transcript. One thing you'll be able to do is, it won't have to just be live streams. You guys, you get your own little blog or whatever. It's actually a pretty nice blog feature. Or in the discussion board, what you can do is you can post a link to any YouTube video of any kind, and you can get together on this site. You know, it'll go ahead and fetch a transcript for you. And then when you guys can pick a time and you guys get together and watch a video together, and everybody just hit play at the same time or whatever, and you got a transcript right here. See? That's it? Some of the ransom note was shared by Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie on a crime podcast. The note starts by saying they have Nancy, she is safe but scared, and that she would be held for ransom. According to the note, it threatened her murder if they did not pay $6 million in Bitcoin within 7 days of her capture. No proof of life. Nancy's not been seen since this. Well, she hasn't been seen since before that. All right, that's not much of a... That wasn't much. I'm going to delete that. However, there's news, right? There is news. Nancy Guthrie ransom notes are fake. Blood on porch proves it. Crime scene investigator says. Cheryl McCollum says no. Jesse Weber live. Nancy Guthrie ransom notes are too polite for a real kidnapper. It starts with a greeting. Hello, Savannah. That's not a demand. That's not urgency, McCollum said. She said the note spells out details a real kidnapper would not bother explaining, like reassuring the family she is safe but scared. You go on to explain more things that are obvious, but if this was a demand for money, that doesn't even play into what you're doing. McCollum said the bigger problem is physical evidence the note ignores. She wants investigators who never wrote the note to account for blood found on the front porch, not just items recovered in the backyard. If everything you did was in the back, how did her blood get on the front porch? She said. Explain that. I did that. The note also was not sent till 48 hours after Guthrie went missing, gave 2 separate deadlines and 2 different ransom amounts, and specified the money should be paid in U.S. currency. Details, McCollum said, do not match how a genuine ransom demand works. This gives you 2 different deadlines to give money, gives you 2 different amounts. That's not a ransom note, she said. A second note, which surfaced later and appeared to be an apology claiming Guthrie died, struck McCollum as similarly hollow. It said she died buried in nature. Everybody's buried in nature. But a science teacher might have said it that way. Especially one when it's not technically his fault that she's dead. You can read the full contents of the ransom notes here. Supposedly. Hello, Savannah. We have your mother, Nancy. Maybe McCollum has a point. Maybe this is not a real ransom note. We have Nancy. We have Grandma. We have the old bag. We have Nancy. Gather $6 million worth of Bitcoin. Await instructions. No cops. No press. That's a ransom note. Not these. This is almost as long as the John Bonet phony ransom note. She is safe but scared. She will be held for ransom, and once payment is received, she will be released unharmed. There's blood all over the porch. We will be holding her for a maximum of 7 days. Why doesn't the note address the blood on the porch? I think McCollum has a very good point there. She bled a little, but we got the bleeding stabilized, and we robbed a pharmacy and got her medication. No, once payment is received to the Bitcoin address below, she will be released within 12 hours of deposit to a safe drop-off location back in Tucson. The note continued. If the payment is not received by the last deadline on Monday the 9th at 5 p.m., she will be killed. Your mother is aware of this and her life is in your hands. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like the greatest movie ever made. I have to find that clip. Let me do this. I have to find that clip. I don't have time to pull it up on. Where is this clip? There it is. Okay. Hold on.
Minutes ago, they want you to take the money, drive north on the 405. They will call you on the portable phone with instructions in about 40 minutes. One person only. They were very clear on that, or I'd go with you. One person only.
What happened to your jaw?
Oh, nothing. Here's the money. And the phone. Please, dude, follow whatever instructions they give.
All right.
Her life is in your hands.
Man, don't say.
Mr. Lebowski asked me to repeat that. Her life is in your hands.
Is there a law that says a professional kidnapper can't get inspiration from the world's greatest movie? No. I'll just let that dangle. It is in the best interest of everyone to have this completed as soon as possible. Why are you wasting time rambling on and on? This sounds like somebody who is desperately trying to write a fake ransom note. Also, you leave the ransom note in the victim's bed, so you know the family will find it. You will not be able to contact me from here on out. What happened to us? You will not be able to contact us. We are a foreign faction. We are legion, for we are many. There will be no negotiation. Do not play games. Law enforcement will not be able to help you. We have the old bag. Gather $6 million worth of Bitcoin. Await instructions. No cops. That's it. That's a ransom note. The note concluded with 2 details that gave investigators confidence it might be legitimate. A white smartwatch on the floor near Nancy Guthrie's bed and a destroyed floodlight in the backyard. Well, it wasn't destroyed. We've all seen video of the floodlight. It might have had some damage. It might have been old, but it wasn't destroyed. And one version of the story said that the Apple Watch was on the charger on the kitchen counter. A second note claims Nancy Guthrie died of heart issues. We did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical conditions. She was coughing up blood, but like my mother always said, there is no reason to think any of these ransom notes have any relationship to reality of any kind whatsoever. But this is the best they've got. She perished shortly after she was taken. Oh, wait. We did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical conditions. So this was a random... She was on TV on the Today Show with her daughter talking about her congestive heart failure and her pacemaker. Didn't you do any research? The 3 Stooges go on a kidnapping. We? I thought there was... How did it go from me to we? We never intended to hurt her. That was not our intention. She perished shortly after she was taken. Perished? We believe it was heart-related. We are awaiting toxicology. In the meantime, here's my recipe for biscuits and gravy. She is buried in nature now. Boy, that sounds like something a science teacher whose second language is English would say. One from a romantic, poetic country. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome. We are truly sorry. The note's unusual phrasing and the use of USD and the phrase buried in nature raised questions about whether the author's first language was English, or whether the message was written using a translation tool. Ni hao, sir or madam. Confucius say, vitamin a day, keep acupuncturist away. If legitimate, the note suggested Nancy Guthrie died in the first week of the investigation, a possibility that prompted a significant change in the family's public messaging. She was coughing up blood when she left, however, and she left all of her medication behind, and she left her pacemaker charger behind. and her phone and her watch. But we think if she's alive, then Big Pharma owes her a big refund because she didn't need any of that shit. Okay, this is an article we're saving because it has the full text of the notes. There isn't anything the slightest bit believable about any of that. And I double dog dare you to believe any of it. Well, wait, this is an article. Oh, yeah, there's... Okay. Well, let's go members only. Rocky Erickson, A Cold Night for Gators, A Cold Night for Dogs. Let's AI this puppy. Now, the Science of Identity Foundation. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Don't forget that. That's Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, we go live and we go members only in 5 minutes. Here's the long and the short of that. Get plugged into the Stones Unturned podcast. Juan Covington. This American serial killer responsible for at least 5 shootings. Oh, yeah, the son of Sam of Philadelphia from 98 to 2005. Delusions brought on by paranoid schizophrenia. Before we go members only, let me appeal to all Blue Blazer irregulars in the tri-state area. What crazy conspiracy theories have you people heard about Fred and Rose West and Ian Brady and Myra, not Myra Breckenridge, Myra, her name was spelled funny. Ian Brady and his squeeze, Myra, you know who I'm talking about. The Moores murders outside Gloucestershire. And Fred and Rose West were Fred and Rose West were in Gloucestershire. And Hindley, Myra Hindley, and Ian Brady, or Jan Brady, or Ian Brady, in Manchester. Any crazy conspiracy theories that link those two couples together? I'll tell you what I came up with. Fred was born in Herefordshire, which is just northwest, just over the big hills there into Wales, or Cornwall, almost, on the northwest coast, and moved to Gloucestershire. But and Ian Brady was born in Glasgow. And when he was a teenager doesn't matter. I think it was 54. He was sent to live in Manchester, the Manchester area. It's about 150 miles north, almost due north of Gloucestershire. In 1962, late 1962, Ian Brady was raised by a couple of foster families. And his last foster family, his foster father was a construction worker, factory worker, not a day laborer, but you get a job that lasts like 6 weeks and then you go to another construction job. And Fred moved to Glasgow in 1962, the end of 1962. Within a couple of months, Ian Brady is murdering people in Manchester. Big whoop. He's arrested in late October of 1965. A month or two later, Fred West moves back south to Gloucestershire. That's the only coincidences I can find, except their MOs were similar, except the women were like, they got on board really fast. And Rose in particular did horrible things that like made the Nazis look like Red Cross volunteers. Any crazy conspiracy theories that you guys can come up with, let me know. I'm just curious. Because Fred worked to Glasgow. When Fred Rose moved to Glasgow, he worked a lot of construction jobs. And he also worked an ice cream truck for kids. And his murders were always linked to his constructions. He learned all about masonry and foundation digging and all of that stuff. And that's how he hid the bodies. Like, it's all tied together. And I only noticed that because Ian Brady's stepfather also worked in the same industries. They could have easily met at the labor exchange. Glasgow had about 1 million people in the 60s, but they were crammed together in an urban area. And they could easily have met at the labor exchange or the union hall, because that's how you get those jobs. You might work for one contractor your whole life, but usually it's like you got 6 weeks work on